So it's beautiful Friday morning. I didn't realize we have NFP today. I said this week. It is this week, but today. So not sure that's actually going to change anything. I'm already in some trades to begin with. Still working on hedging that one. Actually, I haven't looked to see what the challenge is done yet, but I do need to get on there. So that'll be something that I share a little bit later. Right now, I'm on my way to work. This is a little bit outside the norm. We have a couple things that are going on at work, and so I am in the office yesterday and today, and then I will be in next week for a big majority of it. So that's a difference. But other than that, the trading stays the same though, and so I'm not worried about missing out on particular trades. I'm not worried about what the market's going to do. If a trading opportunity presents itself, I'm just going to go ahead and take it. And it's a numbers game. The idea of trying to find a trading strategy that just wins 100% of the time, it's a fool's errand. It's one that many fake, I won't say fake, because I don't know, maybe they are successful and profitable, but they want to sell you on the idea that it's going to be easy to find a 93% win rate. It's not. The vast majority of successful traders come out around a little bit above 50-50, maybe even a little bit below 50-50. They just happen to win more on their losers than they win on their winners. And so it's a numbers game. You're gonna lose. And we are not wired to lose. We have a aversion against it. Here in the US, we're definitely not wired to lose, because that's like our entire country is built on beating somebody else so that we could be who we were. And then here we are. I say we're at the top. We are still, I think, one of the greatest countries out there. But we're not used to losing. Trading's a completely different journey. You have to get used to losing because it's part of the game. And if you want to play the game long term, you need to be okay with losing. And so find that path to finding peace with being a loser. Trades are going pretty good. I'll have to send a screenshot of that, of what they look like. I think I'm back above the original balance of the account and then into some profit, assuming that these trades continue where they're going. One was very, very close to take profit, and that would put me above the original balance. And then the other one, I think it's hovering around break even. So all in all, I think I'm about maybe 0.5% up. And so, whatever. It is what it is. For what? Day 2? Are we on day 2? Good gracious, it's a bumpy road. But I did have somebody in Discord. They asked the question, like, what if I don't have a lot of money to scale up? And so I gave them, like, just the example. It's number one, we're impatient. That's generally what works against us. Scaling up in this industry, in this niche, is no different than compound interest. It just takes time. And we are impatient. We're impatient to find a strategy that works. We're impatient to make it work. We're impatient to go live. We're impatient when we start getting into profits. And we're impatient when we're trying to scale up an account to get to a level that we want. We're impatient all over the place. And it continues to show, I think, all throughout majority of traders' careers. I think I might have come across maybe 1 or 2 traders that I can think of who have honed down patience. It's like, I can wait. I can wait just fine. And so that's not majority of us. Majority of us are very impatient. And so I gave them the example. If you had $1,000 and you were able to pull in 2 R a month, so whatever your risk is, two times whatever your risk is, I was like, look, this is an extreme example, but if you had $1,000 and you risked 10% of that, I want to use extreme just because it's easy numbers to work with. At the end of that first month, you would have $200. If you turn around and do that again, same account, up to $1,200 now, your risk for the second month, you gain 2R, you are now up to, you made $240. You're able to scale that again, and after that you make, what is it, $288? By the time all is said and done, I think you end up with like $1,788 after 3 months of doing this, consistently pulling out 2R in returns, whatever that risk percentage is. That example was a 10% risk. You've almost doubled the account in 3 months of trading. So the idea of, is it impossible to scale up? It's not impossible. It's very, very possible. It just takes time, and we have to give it time. And he comes back and says, what if I don't have $1,000? Look, the maths, no matter what you start with, as long as you are able to increase that account, whatever little percentage it is, you can compound an account. It just might take you longer. You got to be patient with it. You've got to be able to find areas in your life that you might be able to throw more money at it. I was talking with a coworker on the way back from lunch. She was talking about her tint in her window, and the back window is bubbling up. And she looked into it, and it was going to cost $200 to get it replaced. $100 take it off, $100 put it back on. $200. And she's like, nah, it's just cosmetic. That's a great attitude. It's just cosmetic. It affects nothing for her life. But that $200, if this was this gentleman, you could throw that into an account. Like, whatever little bit you can throw into an account. I'm going to stop for Starbucks. You know what? I actually want to make my coffee at home, and I'm going to put that Starbucks. I'm going to put that $7 into an account to start trading with. Not even trading with. Maybe just start a $7 account and continue building it up until you have enough money to make something that seems beneficial to you. Me, I have 2 accounts. I have 3 accounts, but I have 2 accounts that I've started really small. I have a $20 account that I've traded Solana with. It is now up to $58, and so I've over doubled that account, almost tripled that account. I think I started that back in January timeframe. I don't know. I'd actually have to figure that out. What I do know is I started a $50 account doing Tori's trendline strategy, and that was solely what I used it for. Oh, excuse me. I'm up to $77 in that one. That one was since April. How do I know that? Because that's actually when I bought the course for Tori's trend lines and actually set up the account and started trading it. So that one's near 50% rate of return on that account. And that's since April, May, June, July, and we're hitting August. So about 5 months. Is that a 10% growth per month? Like, that's crazy. And the thing is, I know without a doubt, I would have doubled, if not tripled, that account if I had followed the strategy the way it's intended and actually let my runners run the way they're supposed to. But instead, like I said, we're impatient. I get impatient with the profits. I move my stops way too early because I want to secure all these profits, and I end up getting knocked out early. I'm trying to fix that, but it is what it is. And I know I've missed out on runners because I continuously track the trades that I was in, whether I get knocked out or I get knocked out, whether I get knocked out early or stopped out early. I continue tracking those trades to see how they would have played out. And so the ones that I let go to stop loss or hit based upon the trading strategy would have hit like they would have, and I would have lost that. But the ones that I actually made money on, 8 or 9 out of 10 of them would have made so much more money if I let them run. And so It's like, no, you can grow an account. Woo! Almost like South Carolina grows roads out of boulders and potholes. It just takes time. You've got to give it time. This is an investment. I have some sort of risk analogy someplace on my computer that reminds, and it's a beautiful reminder for me, so hopefully it's a reminder for somebody else. But basically, it took roughly, I had taken a strategy and found out what the R return is for the month, and it was somewhere like 5 or 8. And taking that and compounding it, it's like at the end of, I think it was 15 years, if you just took that, invested nothing else, but was able to pull out anywhere between 5 and 8 R for each month, at the end of 15 years, you would have well over $1 million. A lot of people don't even have that after working 20 years for their own retirement. And here we're talking about something that I think that account started with $100. I was like, if you had $100 and you were able to scale up 5 or 8% a month, I really need to find it. After 15 years, and some of you are like, 15, I can't wait 15 years. I'm sorry, you're probably in the wrong field. If you are looking to get into trading, thinking that you're going to become a millionaire this time next year, probably not going to happen. The odds are against you. The odds are really against you. I don't even know the odds. I know that 90% of traders lose money. I think the saying is 90% of traders lose 90% of their capital in the first 90 days. Given the amount of people I've come across, I think that's accurate. Because it's the long-term goal is not there. The long-term mentality is not there. But if you have that long-term mentality, you can make this work. You can make this work with ease. If you're coming from a place where you need it now, I'm sorry, you probably need to back up and get priorities straight. You need to get something in order, because this is probably not it. You're probably wasting money, you're wasting time, and you probably should go find something else to do, because this isn't it. But if you have the freedom to do it, and you have the time and the mentality to think about this long-term, like a long-term business, you're investing in yourself as well as a future business that's going to grow, you'll do just fine. So you can grow a small account. It's going to take time. You've got to be patient. You got to build patience. Patience is something as a trader you have to have. I don't know any impatient, successful traders. So I'm going to do a final review for this evening to see where we sit at, and then we'll go from there. Starting off with the SPX 500. As you can see, our first trade that I took yesterday, pretty much tanked. I was going with a bullish candle and expecting another bullish candle to go. Eventually got a bearish candle in the next 4 hour. I jumped in on that one wherever it was at. I was partially a little late, so price had already moved in its direction. Got in, set it for a 1 to 1.33 tab. 1.33, 1.25 is generally what I'm going for. So that one's still going. We're still in and around here. That one's gone. Another one as well. Was going to got into this one. That ended up tanking as well. Turned around, got into the next one. That went for 1.33, so I won that one. JP 20 or 225 USD. I don't know what some of these things are. I know what gold is, SPX 500, and silver. I think that's it. The other ones, I don't know. I don't care. I'm just trading the simple strategy of what is the previous color candle. I'm going to take that same direction. So first 4 hours yesterday, I was expecting a bullish candle. Didn't happen. Got immediately stopped out. Next one, based upon that one, was a bearish. Got in, and that one made it all the way to profit target 1.13 or 1.33. So that was a win. This one was gold. Got in, expecting a bullish candle. It actually went bullish, and actually, oh man, it was really close to take profit. If I had some sort of like actual hard something and not just a random thrown up there, that one actually would have won. But, it is what it is. Sometimes, it'll come very close to your take profit and then turn around on you, as this one did. So that was gold. This is silver. Same thing here, although, I guess we're hovering near the same area. I was expecting bullish. That one failed on me. I was expecting bearish. That one failed on me. And so now it's roughly in the same area. This WTIC USD, originally it was this minor wick area here. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to take that candle right there. This little doji candle. As we can see, I'll zoom in a little bit more. This was the doji candle I was working with. And I'm like, yeah, no, I had already specifically said, if I see something like this where it's a small body and you got a roughly equal wicks on the other side, I'm not going to mess with it. And so I didn't. But the next one was bearish. And so I went ahead and jumped in bearish, and it went all the way to take profit 1.21. So this one could have went farther. A lot of these could have gone farther, and I might have to think about looking into that and seeing what I might actually go for. I don't know. I might have to go for something. Right now, it's just, how many of these actually win? And then natural gas, USD. So the first one I expected to go bearish or bullish, and it did not. It eventually turned around on me, and then I immediately jumped in for a bearish sell. And I'm at sitting 1.26 right now. If I would have possibly moved it up there, I would have already taken profit if I was able to get in immediately. But like I said, I was a little bit late to the party, and so I was not able to do that. So now it's just currently sitting, just hovering around here. And so if we just take a look, the account balance started with, what was it, 2,500 is what the account balance started with. I currently have floating equity around 1,200. Oh, actually it's right there, P&L, $1,200 right there. So if I closed out right now, I would be up over $1,400. It's equities right there. I could just read that. I'd be up $1,400 right now, which is not bad, not good. It is what it is. I'm just going to see what the market gives me. And so this is day 2 of this entire month of August. And so I'll continue going and seeing where everything goes. But as it sits right now, I have 2 open trades, and that is pretty much it. I will see where everything pans out. I guess everything's going to close down in probably about 50 minutes. And I don't know if I guess there's some overnight stuff. Maybe I can hold for the weekend. I would assume I can hold for the weekend. I can in Forex. And so some of these other things I would assume you'd be able to hold over the weekend. That would not make sense if it closed you out. But hey, I don't know everything there is to know about all the different currency pairs, or not currency pairs, but all the different instruments. So I'm not going to act like I do. We will see. So yeah, that is that. So yeah, that's it for the evening. I'll probably do a little bit of cleanup on my previous accounts. I am up on my trendline strategy account. I think I have 2 trades going on that one, and they're in the money now with the stop loss pretty much. If not already in the money, then it's at break even. So like those are risk free to begin with. I'm not worried about those anymore. My other hedging strategies, I have been able to get out of some, pocket some money, as well as squeeze the hedge. At some point in time, I think I was hedged at like 140 something pips between the 2 positions. I think I am much lower in that now. Let me see what I have here. So I think I was at like 170 something. I'm now hedged at 166. So I probably shaved off maybe about 8 to 10 pips of just letting my original position come out, and then it just moved into, not necessarily into profit because everything was still in drawdown, but it still pulled back enough that I could trail it down as it went through, and I'm basically just eating up that distance, as well as removing some of the drawdown for the other trades that are still there. Kind of excited about this. My original USD CAD that I got into, I royally messed up. And I was taking trades outside of the areas that I should have been taking trades and hedging improperly. And I learned that, and after, watching a few videos from the Forex hedging guy, and realized what I did wrong. And I was like, okay, let me get my head together. Let me just rethink how to work this out to make sure, to see if I can actually get out of it and I don't have to cut it out as loss, because it's a huge loss. But everything's been working out relatively well. If everything pans out with this trade here, and if the USD CAD keeps going up, I'll actually have a whole lot more margin to use to starting to chip away and get out of it, so I can actually do it properly. Because right now it's really improper. Like, instead of having like a 35 pip spread between my buys and sells, roughly about that much drawdown, I'm actually in about triple that drawdown, because once again, I didn't understand what I was doing, and I basically learned the hard way by putting my feet, well, no, I'm not even gonna say I put my feet in. I just completely dove in to this process, and I was like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out on my way. Sometimes that's the best way to learn. Not everybody can learn that style. Not everybody can learn that way. I know myself, and I know that is how I do learn. I don't do well with demo accounts. I don't do well with fake money, because I just have that mentality of like, I know it's fake. There is no skin in the game for me. And so that's why I took my decision making out of the TradingView competition. I didn't want any of my decision making being in there, because I know I'll make choices that don't really line up with how I normally would trade, because it doesn't really matter. So I want to go with something that's very, very simple, so very, very basic. You can't really argue on whether or not a candle before it's bullish or bearish. We could probably argue about whether or not what I consider an indecision, what you consider an indecision, how that might pan out, but I will continue showing my examples of what I see, and you might look at it and go, no, I see that bullish indecision as being more of a bullish rejection, and you're good to go. Take that buy or take that sell. It's like, no, I'm gonna stick with what I have for that. But other than that, we're gonna see, price goes up, price goes down, so you have a 50-50 shot. And so if I can come out somewhere near, a little bit below, a little bit above break even, then from just a baseline, if you just went previous candle, you would have almost a 50% win rate. 1-to-1, that's break even. If you found a way to squeeze a little bit more than 1-to-1 out of it, 1 to 1.5, well, you might be covering commissions and swaps and fees. Well, what about 1 to 1.2? All right, well, now you might actually be making money, and you really didn't have to do much other than place a sell when the candle prior was bearish, or place a buy when the candle prior was bullish. I mean, that's basically what I'm testing. That's why I'm going for like 1 to 1.2s, 1 to 1.3s. I might need to finagle that based upon what I see in the markets. Some of these instruments, when they move, they seem to move. And so, you could still take that entry as like, the previous candle's bearish, I'm going to go bearish. But then like extend your profit target to what generally something, if the prior market's going to move, it's going to move. And the beauty of it is, from what I've been seeing, if it moves in one direction, you catch it. If it doesn't and you get stopped out, then chances are it's going to move in the next direction, which if you're getting in on the very next candle of the previous candle's direction, you're probably going to catch that. You're probably going to catch that instead. So it's like, this will be an interesting one. So stick around. You don't necessarily have to follow me every single day, but if you want to see how everything pans out, then definitely come back at the end of August and just see where the account went. And then you can track all throughout the rest of the month of August to see how I handled everything. Although you can pretty much figure out how I'm going to handle everything. I'm not going to change anything for that. Personal accounts, yes, I'll change certain stuff there. But when it comes to the actual trading competition for TradingView, I'm going to leave it pretty much as far as I know, I'm going to leave it the same, minus the risk-reward structure. I might change that just because it might be in the best interest based upon what I see. Yes, I know. Sample size is really small. I only have a day. So I might have to look at previous history for these instruments that I'm looking at and see if what I believe is the case, what I see so far is accurate. Do they really move when they decide to move? If you were to get flip-floppy on particular trades, will it be in your favor? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out together if you follow me. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, you can put them down there. I have Discord if you have something, if you want to get off your chest, if you want some guidance, some wisdom, counsel, and things like that. Got plenty of people in Discord there. I am more active in Tori's Discord than I am in my own because, well, my Discord isn't meant for activity. It's meant for like questions, guidance, and then be gone sort of thing. Whereas Tori's runs hers. And so come join us there if you want to learn that trend line strategy. Once again, that's also a really nice take the decision making out. Like you draw some trend lines. When price breaks that trend line, you get in. There are some nuances along the way. Sure, you'll learn those. But when it comes to actually making the decision of, ooh, do I get in the market? Ooh, do I not? No, just get in. Let the market teach you and show you and give you the experience you need that would build that gut intuition to be able to see a break of a trend line and go, this fits the rules, but for some reason it doesn't feel right. That is when you'll be able to find all sorts of profitability. When your experience starts speaking to you without you realizing what you're seeing, because your mind has just seen it over and over again, and your subconscious is like, I've seen this, and it doesn't really work out. We've taken this a million times whenever we were learning this process. Doesn't work out. You need to, okay, cool, let me listen to you. Other times you'll be like, no, everything about this trade feels right. You know what? I'm going to double down on this trade because it feels so right. I don't know why, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to double down. I've accounted for it. I'm good to go. All right. Now it wins. You feel great. Great. It loses. You still feel great because you've trusted your intuition. And at some point in time, that's going to lead you in the right direction. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Get in the markets though. Definitely get in the markets. That is going to be your best teacher. All the gurus in the world can't teach you what you need to learn in the markets. All the best bike riding trading specialists can't teach you how to ride a bike if you yourself never get on the bike.